Is up, ladies and germs. I'm here for it. Welcome back to my attempt at a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Null, the brand new difficulty hack of Pokemon Emerald, featuring I'm sorry, I'm going through my code cards. Reverse Hollow Turtonator from Perfect Orders sitting out in these code cards. You don't belong there, Turtonator. Pokemon Null. Brand new difficulty hack. Comparable to Run and Bun, if you've heard of such things. We're doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. No healing items in battle. No overleveling Pokemon. Only one encounter per area. And I'm obsessed with this game. It's all I can think about. Everywhere in my life, I'm sitting around going like, do you think Chestnut could go up against the blah and the thing? And so, we're doing an impromptu Monday stream. This is the team that we just beat Roxanne with. Deathless Roxanne. Deathless Gym 1. Badge 1 accomplished. We're on attempt 4, as you can see here from Type Null here, roasting us. Attempt 4, more like attempt Snore. Type Null's always roasting us. So anyway, we're having a good time, I'm just going to get right into it. Like I said, I can't stop thinking about this game. I am obsessed. And right now, we just beat Roxanne, like I said, so we've got a couple things to do. Chief amongst them, we have to do Vigilante Justice in Rust Turf Tunnel over here to save Pico the Wingull. But before we can do that, there's a bunch of battles on the way there. There's 3 trainers, and then a new encounter, Patch of Grass. And then there's a double battle into a single battle, a little battle gauntlet. And so that means it's time to level cap everyone. I've already actually gone to the trouble of level capping everyone and putting them into the damage calculator so that I don't have to spend all the time updating all these stats and stuff on stream. I have kind of gone back and forth on move sets and move learns. One thing here is that I realize that our Lapras here, Gary Oldman, has a better attack than they do special attack. So I've been toying around with getting rid of either Charm or Brine to make way for Avalanche, because our speed stat is garbage. We have possibly a 0 speed IV. No higher than 2. As low as 0 speed IV. So a move like Avalanche that gains power if you get injured by a foe first kind of sounds pretty nice. You guys want to see the Turtonator? I don't think I showed the Turtonator sufficiently. Look at here. We'll turn down the brightness so you can actually see it properly. It's cute. I love these like matte reverse hollows that they got in the new Mega Evolution era. It's a good art. It's a good Turtonator. I've gained newfound appreciation for Turtonator after our Levitate Turtonator helped so much in my Pokemon Emerald Crest randomizer. Anyway, back to this Lapras moveset situation. Yeah, I'm a little torn on what to do here. Charm really has a lot of utility, especially on a Pokemon that can't get crit, because you start adding up those charm drops and not being able to get crit, it can really add up. But if I get rid of Brine, obviously I've gotten rid of my only water offensive move on Lapras here, and that doesn't sit great with me because I only have one other water type Pokemon. So Frost Breath I don't want to get rid of because it always crits, and that's huge in the face of setup and things like that. And Ice Shard obviously with the priority is like super helpful. So I don't know. I think that ultimately we can probably wait. Let's see. We can look at the Pokédex and see if we've got any other offensive ice moves coming up anytime soon. This is the only physical ice move we can learn. But we can learn a lot more water moves in the future, including Surf right after this level cap, Liquidation even. I think we get rid of Brine for now. That's what I'm doing. I did it. So I don't just think that, I do that. Henry Fonda, Heavy Slam. This is an always, always, always. Because believe it or not, this big pile of salt rock is heavy. Acrobatics is a no-go on Ed Asner. But Screech, I'm also going to get rid of a water move to pick up Screech. Soak, I've gone back and forth on Soak. It gets rid of same type of attack bonus on a lot of Pokemon coming up in like the Brawly's gym and that kind of thing, and I don't know, it feels like it could have some utility even like using it on my own Pokemon and double battles and stuff. I don't know. I feel like I don't take it. It just feels hyper specific. Energy Ball is a great move. It would probably hit like a truck. I want to see if we ever learn Giga Drain. Giga. Yeah, we learn Giga Drain on the next level cap. I'm going to say no to Energy Ball. The draining moves are just so OP on this Pokemon with the priority that they get from the triage ability. I'm going to take everyone's items here. And when I say everyone's getting level capped, I mean everyone, which means we've got 3 Pokemon that are about to evolve. Pretty exciting stuff. Pretty dang exciting stuff. The least, like, Kate Hudson, the Electabuzz, is about to Electivire up. Could not be more excited. Electivire, I was looking at like I said, I got all these guys in the calculator already. I just figured I'd wait until I actually had the stream up to do it for real. Ian McKellen here. We get our Noivern. Flamethrower, we definitely take over Absorb. And then Jamie Foxx evolves into Crobat. We love Crobat. Big Crobat fan. And then we still gotta actually level them all the way up. We definitely take Charm. I'm gonna take it over Stun Spore on Lucy Liu here, the Ribombee. Jamie Foxx, Cross Poison, huge upgrade. Bad special attack. I've double checked this a couple times. Our special attack just doesn't really justify taking any of those moves, even for the spread of it. Now I thought about getting rid of Aerial Ace for Dual Wing Beat, but ultimately, we do have Pokemon that are going to start holding Bright Powder and do other things that make accuracy drop. I think it's important to have Aerial Ace. Natural Gift I haven't used once, even though I imagine it can come in handy. It isn't a very powerful move unless you have the right berry for it. And, like, Talonflame isn't exactly, like, the best attacker in the world. Like, it doesn't have the best offense, so like giving it a spread move, like giving it some kind of coverage move that doesn't have like good stab behind it, it just doesn't make sense. Whereas like Dual Wing Beat and Aerial Ace can coexist. You can see why both would be helpful. I'm gonna say no to Whirlwind. Kate Hudson. I am gonna take Screech over Light Screen. Just because Electivire here is a physical attacker. Like, offensively, definitely more of a physical attacker. And, Light Screen, especially if I'm not going to put, like, Light Clay on this thing, which I don't think I even have access to. It only stays up for so long. I don't know. I just feel like I'm hoping I get a better screen setter at some point, if that's really something I need. It just doesn't feel like Electivire is the guy for the job. Also, like, the next gym we have coming up is, there's very few, it's a very physically offensive gym. This is another one that I've kind of gone back and forth on. Even with the Iron Fist ability that boosts punch moves, Low Sweep is still much stronger than Mach Punch. And I think it's valuable to have, like, as good of a physical attack as I can have on it, even though Fake Out is so valuable. I don't know. I've been torn on this. But I do want to keep... I'm going to get rid of one of these for Fire Punch. Probably Thunder Punch. And speed lowering, I don't know. I have another Fake Out Pokemon in Berserker. Oh, what up, Jer? Touch Quiet. Damn, I don't really know what to do about that. That is a bummer to hear because I've just been using the same mic. I've just been using the internal mic on the computer this whole time. Maybe in OBS I got turned down somehow. No, it's all the way up. That's too bad. Let me know if it changes at all. Let me see here. I might have just been like talking a little quiet. I'm gonna check it on my own phone. It seems like it's coming through okay as far as I can tell. I appreciate the heads up. Obviously, I don't want I don't want to not be audible to people. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the settings, I don't know what, like, I don't know what to do differently. The settings, I'll turn the music down a little bit on my phone, and maybe that'll help. I think I'm gonna take Mach Punch over Fake Out. Yeah. Oh man, that seems really stupid maybe, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then, yeah, I want to take Fire Punch over Thunder Punch. And then I think that... Interesting. That's really strange. Someday I'll buy an actual microphone. And try to be better at doing this. I'll put more effort into this someday. And by someday, I mean... an actual day that exists in the near... future, near-ish future. At some point I will have some money coming my way from like a lawsuit car accident thing. I don't know how much money, but ideally it'll be at least enough to buy like some computer accoutrement, computer streaming software stuff. That's been the idea for a long time. But let's see here. So we've got a couple of encounters that we delayed / just chose not to take. Like right here I could have fished before Roxanne. I decided not to fish. I decided that the rock types here were not worthwhile for me as compared to the future encounter potential of this route. The grass is not reachable for a long time, but when it is reachable you can get a Meganium, Victory Bell, Roserade, Gallade, Ursaring, Heracross, like a lot of stuff for Farigiraf, for Alligator, Emboar, like a lot of stuff that is objectively really, really, really good. So I'm delaying this encounter, and I'm really happy I was able to and get through Roxanne. I also have delayed the Petalburg City encounter. You either get a guaranteed dark type in the grass, or you can fish for some stuff, or you can delay even further until you get surf, and surf for like you got 20% chance at Squirtle, 40% chance at Tatsugiri, 30% chance at Dondozo, 10% chance at Finison, all of which feel like really good encounters. I'm gonna fish there. You get a chance at Krogunk, Dewpider, Slowpoke, Kanto, Marill, Quillfish, or Magikarp. And if you get the Quillfish, which I've had in a casual run and was really fond of, you can trade that for Hisuian Quillfish, get yourself a Dark type anyway, a Dark Poison, which is a great combo. And there's a 10% chance at Magikarp, which, Gyarados being what it is, there are actually pretty few chances at picking up a Magikarp. So, I have 2 encounters that I could have picked up that I just haven't yet. But, what I'm excited for is once I get through these next 3 battles, there's a patch of grass that's it. That's the only encounter available. So we're getting a new encounter as soon as I beat these trainers. So this first guy here is Youngster Schmo. Now, Youngster Schmo has one really scary thing. He's got a Lanoon with Belly Drum and Extreme Speed. If you're not sure how Belly Drum works, it maxes out your attack stat all the way. And he's got a berry to heal up. It takes half your HP, and then your attack stat is maxed out. At +6, this guy's attack is insane. It's like 220, which is, yeah, crazy. And it hitting same type attack bonus extreme speeds is just nuts. So what we've got to do to avoid him clicking Belly Drum is we've got to bait the kill on Electivire here, who takes out his lead, Pidgeot, without trouble. The only thing that is an issue for Electivire is if it gets burned by Heat Wave coming from the Pidgeot here. So to avoid that, we're going to hook him up with a Rossberry. Then we're going to use this helpful trick here to put his HP to, I think we want it to be right around, because Heat Wave crits, we're going to get hit with 2 Heat Waves. And if it crit twice, we'd be looking at about 60% max damage. So we want to be at 61%, so 81 HP is what we want to be at, just to be careful. And that should more or less, yeah, that should always, because we're going to get hit with at least 1 Heat Wave. Heat Wave minimum roll does 16%. So yeah, this will always bait Lanoon into trying to hit a kill. And since Lanoon has the fast kill from that range, with Electivire being faster than its other Pokemon, Wigglytuff, we can always reliably say that Lanoon comes out next. So, we've got the pre-damage going and the Rossberry. Alan Alda here, our Chestnut, is who we always switch into Lanoon. And then the last Pokemon we have to worry about is Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff has a Life Orb and just kind of crazy special attack. But as far as the actual moves themselves, it's kind of hard. We don't have like a great wall for this. Because it's just got really good coverage. It's got Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and then Dazzling Gleam. So picking a Pokemon that's able to come in on all of those, really tricky. I'm thinking that Swampert's probably pretty good into this. So is Magcargo for backup. Magcargo can't get crit, which is really valuable. And Swampert can get crit, but it can survive a crit Dazzling Gleam and 1 non-crit Dazzling Gleam every time. So that seems like dodging 1 crit's one thing, dodging 2 crits is like a lot easier in my mind. Another one that can usually come in on a lot of this is Berserker. The only thing it has to worry about is Flamethrower, which is like certainly a concern, but it's kind of manageable. And then Lapras is another Pokemon that can't get crit and is bulkier than a lot of our other Pokemon. So I think we put, just to be that much more careful, we're going to put a Berry Juice here onto Christian Bale, the Swampert, and that should make it even easier for us to get around whatever crits we have to worry about from Wigglytuff. So with this being the plan, I feel pretty good about it. We're gonna go in here, get this schmo out of the way. So we always just hit Thunder Punch. I'm gonna slow down. Mirror move, interesting. Knowing it's faster than us. Okay, excellent. I'm hoping it gets us, hits us, yeah. was like, I hope it hits us at least once, because if it doesn't, then we're kind of running the risk of not baiting the kill from Lanoon, like I said, was so important. But there we go. We're good. Now we should always bait this Stomping Tantrum, which Alan Alda here switches into like a champ. Oh no, that's actually terrible. That's actually really, really bad. That's actually really bad. +6. Okay, we always live. We always live a well, it can't crit. I don't know why I'm even like clicking crit. Oh, I didn't click crit. I just clicked +6. We still always live. We always live. So we'll just hit this brick break. Brick break's 100% chance to kill. Doesn't have like mold breaker. No, nothing like that. Damn, I really thought we would bait that kill, but luckily Lanoon has kind of trash attack, so we can survive it. Damn, that's I mean, thank God that worked out. That would really upset me. Okay, Wigglytuff's out. It definitely could hit anything, actually, so I think Betty Davis is actually always the best practice here. Another Pokemon that cannot get crit. Flamethrower is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Life Orb Chip, very helpful in the long run. You know who I think I should have brought is probably Garganacl. Did I bring Garganacl? No, I didn't, of course. The worst thing this thing can hit is Thunderbolt. You know, I'd rather not get paralyzed. That would be not ideal, but I do think... I do think we can just afford to hit Incinerate. It's holding a Life Orb, so it's just going to keep chipping away at itself. And I think Swampert is good to come in here. Yeah, and definitely mop up after this Incinerate. We can always survive 2 hits with the Berry Juice equipped, so we don't even have to really worry about crits. This is a done deal. Christian Bale absorbs the Thunder. So now, yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. We win. Good stuff. Youngster Schmo defeated. Now, this next fight is actually really scary. In particular, it's scary because of Cleavor, the rock evolution of Scyther. Cleavor with a rock gym boosted Stone Edge does insane damage. Insane damage. Like, for instance, against a Pokemon even as bulky as like Chestnut, the Stone Edge does with Rock Gym like 30%. Actually doesn't do as much as its Lunge. Its Bug Move, which is super effective into us, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I totally agree that Electivire and Magmortar need to be brought into, like, modern power scale. They need to be scaled up, because they care about those Pokemon. They reprint them all the time in the TCG, and they love those lines, those Kanto lines. So, like, Megas, maybe, or even just stat redistribution. I totally agree. Yeah, Cleavor at least has, like, Stone Axe. It has, like, that signature move that gets through Protect and sets up hazards. I mean, that's a busted move. Like, I imagine what I'm hoping happens with this new Pokemon Champions game that they're moving, like, VGC, like, competitive play into. I'm hoping that they come up with more formats and that we can get away with the double battle format being the only thing that they ever do competitively. And I think, like, if they play it more like they play Pokemon Go, where they'll do, like, themed brackets, like the Jungle Cup or whatever, where you can only use these types, or I imagine we'll get to see a lot of different metas that, like, different Pokemon could be relevant in. And I think Cleavor could mop up in a lot of different metas. A bug meta, like a... I don't know, something that's centered around, like, bugs, grass, and that kind of... Cleavor would eat up. Eat it up. Back to these calcs. So Venomoth leads first. We can always kill with Talonflame, almost always with dual Wing Beat. So we definitely lead Talonflame here. I think the only real thing I see being an issue is because we always survive Sludge Bomb crit. If it Quiver Dances, Talonflame's flying moves get priority, so we're not even like worried about that really. Because we can always outspeed after the setup. If anything, the Quiver Dance would be the best thing. So yeah, like Sludge Bomb crit does at most 70%, so the Poison Chip wouldn't even like put us into range. So the scariest thing is probably Sleep Louder, so we'll put a Chesto Berry on. That will definitely bait in Cleavor. Cleavor's Stone Edge with the Rock Gem does a minimum of 372% of Talonflame's damage, so it will always hit Stone Edge. And so the best thing to send in will always be Chestnut at first. We'll have to like switch around a little bit, but we can, like I said, we can always send in Chestnut. So we got Chestnut in the party already. The next thing, or Swampert is maybe the better option. Yeah, that's right. Swampert is the better option to come in on the Stone Edge. No. You know what you want is you want to do the Berry Juice on Swampert still, because it's gonna come in on a lunge. And then if we switch Chestnut into it, eat the Stone Edge so we can avoid crit. And then, you know what? Let's get an Intimidate in, because, oh, you know what? No, Arboliva definitely accounts for this Gastrodon in the back. This is good. And then, let's see. We got this Wormadam to look at. Lapras comes in on this Wormadam. I bet you anything. Because it's the Sandy Wormadam. It's ground. Oh, yeah. Lapras devours this thing. Frost Breast shows where my head's at. Frost Breath Ice Shard always devours. So, yeah. We want to do a Chesto Berry on Talonflame. I think we want to go ahead and do Berry Juice on Chestnut. And then, do we even have anything to really worry about? No status stuff there. Scald doesn't matter. Oh, okay, we don't want to get frozen Arboliva, so we'll put an Aspir on Arboliva, and then we're good. And just for good measure, the best thing to put on my little backup Intimidate Masquerain is Bright Powder, just to maybe get around whatever moves might be coming our way. So let's see here. Yeah, I think like a Mono-type challenge could be really cool. I mean, yeah, Rock and Bug are two of the worst types, period, in the entire game, offensively and defensively. And so, yeah, Cleavor is just kind of in this weird zone where its typing really holds it back. But, yeah, if you put it in a format where, like, maybe there's no steel types or maybe there's no water types, or, you know what I mean? It could be really, really good. It could be really good. I think we've reached the point of without further ado. Let's just double check. Yeah, we're good to go. Everyone's got their held items. We got a Chesto. Yep. Berry Juice, Aspir, Bright Powder. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's make it happen, team. Regular speed. Yeah, because they do cups like that in Pokemon Go. It'll be like cute cup, and you can only use like fairies and psychic and or whatever, or stuff like that. We always go dual Wing Beat because it has a really decent chance of just taking the one-hit KO. Okay, we just barely miss it. That's fine. Yeah, like I said, even if this crits, it never kills. We don't get the poison, so that's great too. Aerial Ace cleans it up. Alright. This should always be... Oh, it's Wormadam. That's interesting. Oh, it has... Wormadam has Rock Tomb. Well, that's fine. We definitely have to switch out. Yeah, we never kill this, and Rock Tomb always kills us from this range, so we just do the tried and true Lapras switcheroo. We don't really care about getting slowed down, and we don't even really care about getting hit. If anything, getting slowed down might have been clutch. Hold on a sec. I have a feeling. Avalanche, what does it go up to? Avalanche, Pokemon, Calc. Yeah, base power goes up to 120. No. That's something else. Double damage. Double damage if damaged by the target. We are slower now. And then Avalanche at double damage always kills. So, yep. Earthquake never kills. We can't get crit. This thing doesn't have Mold Breaker. Always got to watch out for Mold Breaker with my can't get crit mons. I had conjectured, I had posited that this game's AI has increased crit rate, and I found out recently that they do. It is a 1 in 16 chance for us to crit them, which is normal. It is a 1 in 8 chance for them to crit us, so they're twice as likely to crit us. Ooh, draft would be fun. I really think that is definitely something we'll see in Pokemon Champions. Like a draft format of some kind will be a lot of fun. And I definitely see them doing that. Okay, so we've got almost certainly a Stone Edge coming our way. Would be my guess, but let's just double check. We are at 71. Because he might, at this range, have other moves that can kill. Ooh, Lunge. Wow, Lunge and Brick Break always kill from this range. That is too bad. So it could be anything. We mostly just don't want it to be Lunge. I'm kind of thinking that they might not hit Stone Edge from this range, which is a little concerning, but not really. I think we still go ahead and just switch in Chestnut. And even if it's a Lunge, okay, I was worried it might be a Lunge. This is the hardest we can get hit. It's going to do less than half still, so we can still always afford to stay in. Hit the Spiky Shield, get some chip. And then I think, let's see here. Yeah, we definitely just stay in and, like, we can always stay in at this range. 93 out of 148 is, yeah, 63%. Max damage roll on their side is 45%. We stay in. We hit a Seed Bomb. Actually, at this range, we hit Super Fang, because that'll do more than any of our... I mean, I guess we could, in theory, crit with, like, Seed Bomb or something, but this way we don't have to, like, get through attack drops or anything. We can just take half the HP it has. Berry Juice was probably unnecessary. Now we are pretty comfortable to bring in Swampert. And Swampert doesn't even worry about the attack drops from Lunge, because, especially from this range, we can always just hit Scald. Wait a second. Unless I haven't done the calcs with Stone Edge with the rock still on, with the gem. Ooh, Stone Edge crit can kill. Doesn't always kill, but it can kill. Stone Edge is not fully accurate, I imagine. Oh man, it's faster than us. This is not a position I wanted to be in. This sucks. Deborah. Can you... No, you cannot eat that Stone Edge like I was hoping. What about you, Chestnut? Stone Edge? Because I think at this range, that's what he'd want to hit. Lunge actually is his best range. Lunge, he doesn't have to crit with Lunge to kill. It'd be a super high roll that he'd have to get. I think we bank on him using Lunge then. And then worry about him trying to hit Stone Edge. But let's see here. Do we survive? 55 out of 148. Okay, we always survive. I think this is like the big brain play, but it's also a risky play. But I'd rather sack and get the Intimidate than Lunge. Okay, we can always survive this. This was resisted and intimidated, so we're good there. Now, I imagine, especially at -1, this thing is always going to just want to hit Stone Edge. Always. Every time. It's the only thing it can hit. So, with that being the case, we're going to double check this one last time. It cannot crit. He's at -1. Even with the Rock Gem on, the most he can do is 21%. Even if he wasn't at -1, the most he could do is 32%. We have 55 out of 148, which means we have 37% health. So Alan Alda can always come in and tank the Stone Edge. Even with the Rock Gem. Even with the Rock Gem, we take it. I know it's hard to believe, but we resist it. And it can't crit. Okay, perfect. Now... Damn. This is scary, actually. This is still scary. I'm gonna... Oh. Damn. Oh, man. This is getting a little out of hand. He's at -1. We are at 27 HP. That's 18%. It could click... It'll almost certainly click Lunge, but it could click Stone Edge. In theory. How does Arboliva handle this stuff now? And they're at... What are they at? I'd say... What do we think that is? Probably like... Certainly less than 50. I'd say it's no more than 45% health. Which Mega Drain can... chunk pretty good from Arboliva, but then if it hits Lunge, we'd be taking a lot of damage, and that could crit, and a crit would always kill. Oh my god, this is a bad position to be in. Okay, we can hit Spiky Shield. That'll help a little bit. So we get some chip. Okay, it hit Lunge this time. I'm gonna guess it's gonna hit Lunge again. And we're going to get another Intimidate off. Sick. Bright Powder. Sick. Coming in clutch. Okay, now... God, we're slow. This thing is weirdly fast. It doesn't have a Rock Gem anymore. So I can get that off of this calc. It's a -2. -2. It, again, only ever wants to hit Stone Edge from this vantage point. Which I think Arboliva should be able to come in on. This is the big brain maneuver. And then a crit never kills. Okay, we figured out a safe path forward. We just gotta hope that the Stone Edge does not crit. Okay, it lands, which sucks. And it doesn't crit. From this range, priority Mega Drain should always kill. Because that's not 40%. Yeah, always. Boom. And we got a good chunk of our health back. This is great. And then this should be Gastrodon. And Gastrodon can simply not withstand 2 Mega Drains, and an Ice Beam crit never kills. Oh, hold on, everyone. Hello? Yes. Yeah, yeah, what do you need, Scooter?
Well, you know where you park next to my green truck?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll walk out there right now. Casey, actually, come with me.
Okay, I'll make a shoes.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Okay. Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're all on the same page about where you want us to park. Back, kitties. Back, cats. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Doing apartment stuff. Okay. Oh, I left you on the cliffhanger of whether or not we can survive against this Gastrodon. Guess what? We can. It's got this Rindo berry to protect it from grass moves, but shitload of good that'll do him. One, we're going to get hit by an ice beam. It could hit pretty hard. But if it freezes, we're not even sweating that. Because this always kills. Bing, bang, boom. Look at us go. Alright. That got a little touch and go there. That Cleavor is scary, dude. That is a scary Pokemon. See, I mean, this is a great example of Cleavor not being an easy Pokemon to get around. Like, you have to treat it with respect. Even in a format where I've got Swampert and Chestnut. I gotta do one last thing, sorry. But I thought I had some with me today. But I'm not sure where I even put my wallet. Sorry, everybody, my lips are all chapped. I need chapstick. Where's the chapstick? Can you even believe it? Not the pocket of the pants I'm wearing now, but the pockets of the pants I wore to work. All right, everyone, we're back. No worse for wear. This next trainer, from what I've gleaned, should not be as threatening as this last guy just was. Oh, but I was thinking about the increased crit chance. I mentioned that earlier. And it was something I suspected was true just from playing, just based on how I was being treated by the AI. But it turns out to be true that yes, they have double, they're twice as likely to crit you, the AI in this game. So it's a 1 out of 8 chance. And with that being the case, that really puts a premium on if we catch a Pokemon that can get Lucky Chant, definitely want to hook it up with Lucky Chant. And if we get, you know, and the fact that I have 4 different Pokemons that can withstand, like, that cannot get crit, between Chestnut, Lapras, Magcargo, and Berserker, I mean, that's huge. Battle Armor, Shell Armor becomes just that much more premium. And I'm grateful for it. I think we gotta have we'll get a Lucky Chant Pokemon, I hope. Yeah, the double crit chance is scary, but it is also, like, in fairness to us, like, I think it just, like, demands that you just, like, pay attention to your calculator that much more and just, like, make sure that you're not cheesing through and just getting lucky. You really just have to think that much more about each turn, and honestly, that's, like, what I'm getting out of this game, is I'm having fun playing around with the calculator. So I'm fine with it. Here's what we got next. We've got School Kid Karen. She's got a Primeape, an Ursaring with Toxic Orb and Quick Feet. So Toxic Orb poisons you, the person holding it, which means the Ursaring is going to get poisoned. Quick Feet makes you twice as fast, or not twice as fast, but 1.5 times as fast. It gives you a speed boost if you're poisoned. And then we've got Guts Throw with a Flame Orb, so it always gets burnt, and that doubles its attack. And then we've got a Magneton with Hidden Power Grass, which makes it really threatening into our normal solution to a Magneton, which would be Swampert. So, we've got to cook here a little bit. Throw, unfortunately, does have Stone Edge, so that makes our Flying types and our Fairy type Ribombee vulnerable. Quite vulnerable. But Primeape does not. Primeape just has Drain Punch and Rage Fist. So Talonflame is always good to take out Primeape. It has Substitute. That's one thing that's kind of threatening, but with Dual Wing Beat, we always hit it twice, and we always break through that Substitute. So we always lead Talonflame here. From there, I expect we're more than likely... We will never see Ursaring after Primeape. We're either always going to see... I think it's toss-up between Throw and Magneton, because both can kill. Both see kills with Stone Edge and with Thunderbolt. Magneton's faster than Throw, but they're both slower than Talonflame. And if I'm clued in on how the AI works, I believe that it'll go by default order. Bye, I love you so much, have fun. So I think we'll probably see Throw come in next. That being the case, we gotta look. Stone Edge Superpower knockoff. I think the solution here is always just Chestnut. And yeah, so Chestnut comes in. The worst thing that he can do is hit Superpower, but then once he hits Superpower, he's going -1 on attack, and then we can always... Well, not always, but we can usually tank a second Superpower. If he gets max roll Superpower, then the second max roll could take us out. So we'd have to get 2 max rolls in a row. Seems unlikely. Seems easy enough to avoid. The backup plan is to hit Spiky Shield. He's at -1. He always wants to hit another Superpower from that range. We can switch in. So we can always come in on 1 Superpower. If it does max roll, we can Spiky Shield, get a little chip. He'll also be getting chip damage from his burn. Then on -1 Superpower, we can switch in Ribombee, who will switch in on a second Superpower. Which will make him just that much less formidable. And once he hits that second Superpower, we can switch back into Chestnut, actually. And from that range, I think we're safe to stay in between, like, Spiky Shield and stuff. So that's a good call. So, or we could actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we can avoid all of that switch nonsense by just literally giving Chestnut a Berry Juice. So if he max rolls the first Superpower, we'll heal up and be out of range of the next Superpower. Easy enough. Let's not overthink it. Next Pokemon that comes in would almost certainly be... Well, that is interesting. Actually, it's a toss-up between Ursaring and Magneton, both of which we are faster than. So I imagine it'll go in that default order. It would probably be Ursaring. There's a chance we can stay in on that. There's a small chance we can stay in on that. Just as well, we outspeed the Ursaring before it gets poisoned. It does have Protect. Huh. That's interesting. Brick Break does not always kill, but it does have killing range, like a range to kill. Depending on where we're at, health-wise. Last Resort. Wait, Last Resort, it can't use Last Resort until it's used all its other moves. So it has to use Secret Power and Throat Chop first. Like, the scary thing that could happen there is Secret Power paralyzes, but we always outspeed on that first hit. We hit Brick Break. Okay, so we can just stay in with Chestnut at that point. If we really want to get, like, scared about it, we have Ed Asner to do, like, Intimidate pivoting and stuff like that. And then we have Gary Oldman can come in. Our Lapras here. Yeah, can tank a lot of this stuff. And Ice Shard after, yeah, because we always can get one Brick Break off. Then, okay, what did we want to do against this Magneton? Because like I said, Hidden Power Grass hits like a tank, and crit always kills onto Swampert. Oh, you know who eats this up? Yes, dude. Okay, this is good. Electivire always eats this up because Low Kick does a shit ton of damage, and like the worst this thing can hit us, Hidden Power Grass, 43.9%, so we can always switch in, tank a hit, take a second hit, get the Low Kick off. We're faster, so we should always be able to get two. Yeah, that's the ticket for sure. All right, we don't even need to, like, there's not even a status to worry about there. There was a status. Okay, yeah, paralysis from Ursaring. Here's what I'll do. I'll put a Cherry Berry onto Gary Oldman. I think that handles us. Okay, this should be good to go. We should be good to go. All right. Prime Ape. We always dual wing beat. It's Prio. Unless it crits, it never picks up the kill. Drain Punch does like nothing. I'm surprised it even clicked it. And then yeah, we always kill from here with the dual wing beat. Good stuff. Okay, like I said, I think this should be Throw. It could be Magneton. I'm expecting Throw. Yes. Throw is always going to want to hit Stone Edge here. Always. And we are always safe to switch in either, I think Swampert. Yeah, Swampert eats this crit right up, and then we can switch. It'll want to hit Superpower onto Swampert, and we can switch that into Chestnut. So yeah, this comes in great. It's burnt. Chestnut. I think I may have messed this up, but I think we should be able to pivot around okay. The Superpower will hurt, but it'll only hurt so much. We're hoping it does less than 60%. Whoa. That is a max roll. That is the max roll of all max rolls. 57 was what it was at. Let me see. Yeah, that is literally the highest possible roll that it got just then. That is a real pain in the ass. But we are at 77 now with the berry juice. That's strange. It sinks. I mean, that's right. 77 out of 148 is more than half of our HP. And it's at -1 attack and -1 defense now. So another superpower never kills. And we can stay... Let's hit the spiky shield first. Get that much more chip damage. Chip. Burn. And then we can hit the seed bomb. This should do pretty hefty damage. Crit would always kill. We should always survive this second superpower. Yep. And then... we outspeed and kill. Damn, dude. Damn. Yeah, it's always Ursaring here. And unfortunately, we are definitely in a range that, like, it always kills us. So we can't risk hitting Brick Break. What we can do... let's see here. Is start hitting Intimidates. Yeah. This thing is almost certainly going to try to attack us, so we can get our first round of chip in with a spiky shield. Because it's gonna get poisoned no matter what now. And oh, secret power is not a contact move. Interesting. Ed Asner, come in and hit this first Intimidate. Secret power, scary, but it's not the end of the world. It is a toxic orb, so I do believe, yeah, it's badly poisoned, so this damage should go up and up. How does Talonflame handle this stuff? It can't hit Last Resort yet. In fact, it still only hit Secret Power twice now, so it still has to get through Throat Chop and Last Resort. You know what? I think we probably just switch right into Lapras. I think Lapras helps a lot. Yeah, we just switch into Lapras. And Lapras, like I said, I mean, the big concern is Secret Power paralyzing us, but we have the Cherry Berry. It has still only hit Secret Power, so it's not in a position to use Last Resort. It's not going to get there, and this toxic damage is going to stack up, and we just -2, so it's at -3 now. Yeah, I mean, we're golden. In fact, an Ice Shard might even be in a range to kill. No, not quite. But with the Poison Chip, this will always do it. All right. Well, we had to go to our backup plan, but we had a backup plan. That is the important part. And now this guy is gonna just make Kate Hudson faster. You're about to charge up our Kate Hudson. Yup. Motor Drive. And Low Kick devastates you. 2 of those and you are SOL. Hidden Power Grass. Barely feel it. Low Kick. Alright. It's encounter time. New friend. New friend o'clock. Let's double check. Yeah, we are deathless. This is great. This is what we like. We like to be deathless. Now, do I have a yawning Pokemon? Here we go. Alright, let's go. Do I have the Repel on? I think I might. Repel is on now, and now it is off. This grass is interesting. It's a lot of these grasses so far, a lot of these encounters have been like guaranteed one thing or the other. Or have had like themes around them. This grass does not have that going on. It could be a number of things. For Fletchling, which we already have. Sizzlipede, which in casual runs of mine, I've had a lot of fun with Centiskorch. Nidoran, male or female, equal chance, 10% chance on both of those. Gligar could be really big. For both Brawly and Watson, could be huge. Gligar would be a great pickup. Foongus would be amazing as well. And a Moongus on the team would be amazing. Combi could be fine. Vespiquen has uses for sure. Coughing could be good. I bet we can get Galarian Coughing. I love that. Charcadet could be really good. And then the slim chances, you got 2 5% chances in Charmander and Morlul, either of which would be spectacular. So really there's nothing bad in this grass. I think if there's something I'd like to see the least, it would probably be Combi. Nidoran, I'm kind of like, I could go either way on, but it's Heart of the Cards time. Okay, that's fine. Let's see how these two Nidorans compare. I mean, I'm curious. Nidoking, Nidoqueen. Yeah, Nidoqueen is in this more kind of like balanced, like bulky space, and Nidoking is more offensively viable and a little faster. Nidoqueen. Get some interesting moves. We get Toxic. We might get Sucker Punch. Could be good. It's nothing spectacular. I'd say it's pretty far down on the list. Flatter is interesting. Flatter is swagger, but for special attack. Which into Brawly could be really good to get the confusion off, and I don't know. There's worse things. Poison is good. Poison is good. Ground is good. So we'll go ahead and yawn this guy and start hitting these Pokeballs. Ooh, I don't even know what letter we're on. For actors. What are we on? I can count. I can count based on location. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Oh, we're on O. So a woman actress whose name starts with O. Octavia Spencer. Boom. Octavia Spencer, welcome to the Resistance. Let's go ahead and, well, let's double check. I don't think there's any moveset delays stuff to do. Looks like the moveset is more or less the same. Yeah, am I reading this right? Nidoran female. Toxic double kick. It would be nice if I could get these two things side by side. Duplicate tab. Try again, try again, try again. Okay, that's obnoxious. Whatever. Scorching Sands, level 43, Poison Jab, Crunch. Yeah, it's the same. So we can go ahead and just level cap her right now, and then we can go get Moonstone elsewhere. Now we have another guaranteed encounter coming up after a little gauntlet battle thing. And it's a guaranteed dragon encounter. We already have one dragon in Noivern, but we're guaranteed another dragon here in a moment. So Octavia Spencer evolves, and then we get all these moves. Fierce Wipes, no. Bite, no. Mudshot, yes. I will take Mudshot, actually, just for the moment. Flatter, I was just talking about how I might want Flatter. I'm gonna take Flatter. Crunch, I will take as well. Actually, I'm gonna take Crunch. I don't have a great dark attack right now on any of my Pokemon. This seems valuable. Poison Jab, I will take over Mudshot. And then Scorching Sands. What's the ability on this? I didn't even think about that. What is the ability on Nidoqueen? Oh, it should also be Sheer Force. So this Scorching Sands should hit a little better. Then I'll get rid of Flatter. I don't need it. Crunch will be boosted as well. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and just turn this Repel back on and take the Pokerider. I believe we can get a Moonstone as early as Petalburg City. By Moonstone. There it is. Get our Queen logged in. And then we'll put her into the calculator. Oh boy, how exciting. Octavia Spencer. Sheer Force. Lax. I think, is Lax neutral? No, it's not. Oh, that could be worse. Nidoqueen. Blank set. Level 45. Yeah, it's a male Nidoqueen. Calculator. Good work. Female. Female. Sheer Force. Lax nature. Lax. Sheer Force. Okay, excellent. Now let's start looking at these stats. See what we ended up with. 146. It's actually pretty decent. No lower than 23 attack. Doesn't look as good, but it could be a lot worse. No lower than 12 defense. Not good, but it could be. It could also be worse. As low as 11 on defense. Could be a lot worse. Special attack. Not good. Special attack. We're at. Could be as low as 4. Special defense also great, but also kind of just reasonably mid. 13. Speed stat looks about as good as you can ask it to be. No lower than 28. That's pretty good. So we got Crunch. We got Scorching Sands. I don't think this is going to be doing a lot of, like, big moves on the damage calc, if I'm being so for real. Poison Jab and Toxic. But a Toxic user is great. And another ground type is great. Yeah. I mean, this thing's not bad. It's just not extraordinary. But there we go. You're more or less guaranteed, like, not guaranteed, but the heaviest likelihood with the 20% is a 20%, a 1 in 5 chance to get one of the 2 Nidorans. So, whatever. Pokerider back to Rustboro. Go ahead and heal up real quick. And then, actually, there's some items to pick up that I think might become relevant. Now that we have Cut, we can get a few things. We can get this Float Stone, that's something. We can get this Miracle Seed, that's big. Miracle Seed's big. Big, big, big. Power Herb, also potentially big, but it is a consumable. Silver Powder, also pretty good potential for our friend Ribombee. Let's go ahead and Pokerider back. And then we got to cook up this double battle. Well, it's really more of like a triple battle. So we got to fight these 2 guys, and then once we fought them, we got to fight that guy right after them. Now, what I think I have cooked up, I think is a good idea. So they're gonna lead on one side. They're gonna have a Golem, and then they'll have a Sandslash. On the other side, they have a Persian and then a Chimecho. So we want to lead with something. We want, in the very front of the party, something that can deal with the next trainer. And what we have there that works really well, actually, is Talonflame. Because Talonflame outspeeds their lead Alolan Dugtrio. Flame Charge does well over 50%. And the worst they can do is hit us with Iron Head, a crit of which does max a third of our damage. The only thing it could do besides that is Metal Sound, which drops our special defense. We're not worried about that. Or Memento, which literally makes Dugtrio kill itself and then it's gone. Then we just have to have something to switch into Stunfisk here. And actually, Swampert completely walls this thing, basically. I mean, Earth Power is a little obnoxious. Like a max roll crit could become a problem, but outside of that, we can just scald this thing. And then Arboliva, yeah, totally walls it. Totally walls it. We put a Cherry Berry on her, and she's good to go. Alright, so we want to lead Talonflame. Very front of the party, Talonflame. But with that being the case, we're going to be baiting Rock Slide. Almost certainly baiting Rock Slide, yeah, from Golem here. And then Persian has Fake Out. And that's something I'm a little like, I don't know what side it's going to want to hit Fake Out into, but I think the best answer to that is to just have Chestnut in the front here who can, you know, tank a Rock Slide easily and then tank anything the Persian has to dish out as well. And we can hit Spiky Shield and punish the Persian quite easily. Brick Break always kills the Persian 100% of the time. And we're not at risk of like flinch from Golem, so I think we switch Talonflame out into something that can tank the Rock Slide and whatever hits the Persian may have to offer. But I also think we want something that, you know, ideally can, on the second turn, help us into the Golem, mostly. So what do we think? Because if we target down the Persian, like the Persian will go down, and then we want to hit the Chimecho. I'm actually kind of liking Garganacl, maybe. Garganacl, Heavy Slam, Mineral is 43% on the Chimecho. Huh. What do we think here? Oh, yeah, and then I can Spiky Shield. Dazzling Gleam into Garganacl. Crit, max roll, 31%. Crit, max roll, Rock Slide, 46%. That's 70. And then it's probably going to want to hit Stomping Tantrum. So we can't stay in, actually, with Garganacl. That doesn't work. What about... how does Swampert handle this stuff? I mean, Swampert's great into the Golem, but I'm kind of wanting to take out this Chimecho. That's kind of what I'm focused on, so we can get it down to just, like, one slot. Actually, Berserker might be a good call. So the only thing I really need to handle the guy after the double battle is Arboliva, rather, and is Lapras good? Lapras might actually be really good for this. Frost Breath always kills Sand Slash, that's great. Obviously it, yeah, messes up Golem as well. Golem hits pretty hard. We don't want Lapras to come in on Golem, but we should be able to clear Golem out without too much trouble. And then Chimecho's a little bit of a concern, but honestly, it doesn't really hit that hard. Here's what we'll do real quick. We want the Cherry Berry on Deborah Winger here, and I think we want Chesto Berries on Christian Bale. Ooh, we need to level cap Berserker there. We need to get rid of... We got another slot open. We got to get Masquerain out of here. So what do we think? Actually, Chimecho doesn't have a psychic move. How does Nidoqueen equate herself? Pretty good. Crunch. That crunch hits hard. And Dazzling Gleam barely hurts. And yeah, I mean, as long as we can get Golem off the field, and we are faster than the Golem, it should almost never want to hit Stomping Tantrum before we can take care of it. And then we can switch out into Lapras. Yeah, I think this is actually a great play. So we put a Chesto Berry on this thing. I think the silliest thing I've got doing here, the least thought out thing, is bringing Berserker. But again, do I want Metal Sound? These are all really good. I've got other Screech users. I'm gonna take Metal Sound, actually. I'm going to. Payback, I'm gonna say no to. Alan Alda, I'm gonna slap a Berry Juice onto. And then what are we worried about here? Berserker. I think Berserker mostly is, like I said, kind of like extra, just like fake out coverage type stuff. Is Garganacl smarter? Not really. I think this is the play. Like I said, Talonflame and Octavia Spencer gets us through the... Not Octavia Spencer. Talonflame and Arboliva solves the fight after the double battle. I think these... Ooh, what do we got here, actually? Yeah, this works. This works great, actually. We'll fake out the Golem. Yeah, this works. Woo! It's a little scary. Okay. So, like I said, we always switch this out. We'll go ahead and switch it into... I think Berserker's the move. So we can get our fake out on the next turn. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Berserker, and then... I don't want to get fake outed and... like rock slided, but a little bit. I mean, so max damage is a little less than a quarter damage body press from Golem, but again, I don't think it's ever hitting body press into. I think it's gonna hit rock slide, which max damage is 14%, and then if fake out, max damage is 17, so a third, and then the most we can get is another third plus a quarter. Yeah, so we can always actually, if we don't get faked out, then we can just like take this KO, and that would be awesome. So let's double check. Fran Drescher into Nicole Kidman, Brick Break into Persian. And I think this is honestly better than whatever chip we might get out of the Persian, because that's perfect. Okay, so we will get this KO on Persian, and there's no kill on the board for them with Golem, even if he does choose to like hit body press or stomping tantrum into Nicole Kidman. No, and it's rock slide. Perfect turn one. Okay, Chimecho's on the field. We want to, let's see here. We could take the Golem off the board right now with a fake out and a Seed Bomb. Or we could just fake out the Golem and Seed Bomb the Chimecho. And then on the next turn, we can always outspeed and take a... I think that's the play, actually. Okay, so we go fake out into Golem, which has Sturdy, so let's make sure its held item doesn't... Yeah, it's just got a Lumberry, so it'll flinch. So fake out into Golem, Seed Bomb into Chimecho. Let's go. Sturdy's broken. Seed Bomb always does minimum of 50%. Dazzling Gleam will do a good chunk to Alan Alda, but it can never kill. Yeah, that's... I'd call that a good chunk. And then what do we do from here? So we can always outspeed and kill the Golem with Seed Bomb. It's pretty good. Or, yeah, no, what's even better, actually, is we just take out the Chimecho, like I said before. And honestly, I think this thing is going to want to hit Berserker. It probably sees a kill on Berserker, actually. Yeah, Stomping Tantrum always kills from this range. It's almost certainly going to hit Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum's not a spread move. Right, Stomping Tantrum is a single target. You know what? I don't want to get put to sleep. That's kind of the weird situation I find myself in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch in Christian Bale. He can tank anything that Golem has to offer. And then I'm going to take the guaranteed KO on Chimecho so that we can focus down on the Golem side. We outspeed, we always kill. Boom. So yeah, whatever this Golem does, we're not really worried about it. I'm expecting a, yeah, Stomping Tantrum. Woo, that was scarier than I expected it to be. But we are actually quite unbothered. Because Golem is slower than both of us. We always kill. I am, however, going to switch. Whoa, I didn't bring Lapras. I meant to bring Lapras. Oh, fuck. Well, we always outspeed here, both of us. And we both have guaranteed kills. Then Sand Slash is a little scarier. Seed Bomb does a lot of damage to Sand Slash. And we can probably... Maybe we can afford to switch in... like Arboliva. We can maybe even just... Actually... Talonflame can switch into Sand Slash, weirdly enough. So yeah, let's just get Golem off the board here. And switch... Talonflame in. Yep, yep. Seed Bomb. Yep, Seed Bomb outspeed. And kills. Boom. Alright, alright, alright. Now it's just Sand Slash. Sand Slash can't do anything to Talonflame, really. The most it can do without setting anything up is 8% with X-Scissor on Talonflame. And then Chestnut... Yeah, the most it can do is 20%, so we're perfectly fine to 78 minimum roll. What's Talonflame's best? 25. Yeah, okay. We've got a guaranteed kill. Seed Bomb dual wing beat. Ooh, and she crits. She crits to boot. The nanny is taking you to school, Sand Slash. All right, perfect. Great, great, great. And now Fran Drescher, the Talonflame, and our Arboliva are both in great shape to take on Hiker Devin here. Fran Drescher can always just stay in and hit Flame Charge. Great damage out of this. Well over half. Always 2 shots. Ooh, look at him go. Get the speed boost, although it doesn't really do anything. Oh, but it negates the speed drop from Tangling Hair. That's great. Rocky Helmet, that's not ideal, but Metal Sound doesn't do anything, and we can always just stay in, get this Flaming Charge, and yeah, the Rocky Helmet damage won't do anything worth writing home about. Now, Stunfisk comes in, and we always just switch over to Arboliva. Arboliva comes in on any of this stuff. And if she gets paralyzed, she knows what to do. She's got that cherry berry. Surf, even better. Perfect. Like the best thing we could possibly see. Because now we got a guaranteed 2-shot here. With priority. Oh, and the crit. Deborah crits when she doesn't need to and when she does need to. She had a clutch as hell crit in a trainer battle leading up to Roxanne. A perhaps run saving crit. But there we go. Gauntlet accomplished. We're good to go. All right, new encounter time. Guaranteed dragon time. Guaranteed dragon o'clock. Ooh, and we get, there's a TM over here. And there's some items up here. That's right. That we can get with cut now. Serious mint. Could have serious implications. And we get more citrus berries. Precious, precious citrus berries. Orange berries. And another hard scale. Also precious. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the cargo in the front of the party real quick. Heal everyone up. And let's box all of our items while I'm thinking about it. Bag all of our items, rather. Bag. Alright, cool. Really meant to bring Lapras to that, but it worked out just fine. Really wasn't a problem. Alright. So repel on. It is. Now it's off. What are we gonna get? Oh, it could be anything. It could be a dragon. Druddigon is one of the more common options here. One of the more common options. I'm fine with it. I like Druddigon. I think it has some real utility. It could have Rough Skin or Sheer Force. I'm kind of hoping for Rough Skin, actually. And... oh, that's nuts. Dragon Hammer, 90% physical, no additional effect, 100% accurate dragon. That's going to hit hard. Revenge looks like it could be really good. Yeah, I mean, like, this thing is a physical attacker through and through. Also gets agility. Something. Yeah, this thing's attack is nuts. And it actually has really good bulk, too. Agility actually can make this thing quite nasty in the right situation. Let's go ahead and hit the on. And start throwing Pokeballs. Oh, on the first ball. Let's go. So we're on to P. An actor whose name starts with P. You know what? In honor of me thinking that Tyrion is a secret Targaryen, we're going to go with Peter Dinklage. I think we want to this. Peter Dinklage. We'll take the I, actually. Peter Dinklage, the Druddigon. Welcome to the Resistance. Yo, okay, let's level cap this thing and look at its stats. This thing could be really nasty, frankly. This we got a Team Aqua fight about to take place that is not going to be some small thing. Dragon Tail, I'm going to take it over Leer. Slash, I will take over Scratch. Crunch, I will take over Bite. Dragon Claw, I will say no to. Chip Away, I will say no to. Revenge. It's Fighting Avalanche. A 120 fighting move, like if we can get the hit. I'll take it over Scary Face for now. Let's see how else I'm feeling. Night Slash over Crunch. Increase crit. You know, I'll go for the increased crit chance over the dropped defense chance. Maybe I'm silly. Dragon Hammer. I think we just take it 1-for-1 over Slash, because Night Slash is doing the same thing as Slash for us, more or less. And I want to keep Dragon Tail, because I like the idea of being able to get an opponent off the field. So let's do that, and I think that's the last thing we learned. So now let's take a look Mild. Rough Skin. I like Rough Skin. I like it better than Sheer Force for this Pokemon, actually. Because I kind of want these secondary effects. So, Druddigon. You're a boy dragon. Of course you're a boy dragon. Level 45. Mild. Ah, damn. That is not a good nature for this guy, but doesn't break the bank or nothing. In and of itself. Ooh, these stats do not look good. Yeah, these stats are not great. HP, no lower than 6. Attack stats not looking great. No lower than 12, could be worse. Defense stat looks trash, even, oh, especially considering the nature. It's a 3, as low as 3. Special attack stat, not doing us any favors, even if it is good, but it's not good. As low as 9. Damn. Special defense could be worse. Closer to, yeah, no lower than 20, and the speed looks pretty bad too. This isn't, as Druddigons go, this is not a good one. But I'm grateful for any dragon, I guess. This is not a good Pokemon. But we'll live. Revenge and Night Slash. Alright. This could be a lot better. I like the Rough Skin, though. I like the Rough Skin. We'll see what we can do with this. Alright, so the next fight is upon us. Okay, they lead Mightyena. But you know who doesn't give a shit about that? Oh my god, that's so annoying. Our Ribombee outspeeds, which is awesome. But it is a low roll of 99% with Dazzling Gleam. So just outside of the guaranteed kill. Signal Beam is 94. We did just get the Silver Powder, which increases bug damage. So maybe with that? Nice. Okay, Silver Powder guarantees us the fast kill onto Mightyena. So we can just get it right out of the way. So that's a perfect lead. That's an always lead. Let's make sure that's happening. Silver Powder, give Lucy Lou. Yeah, Druddigon is like one of those Pokemon. I feel like there's a class of Pokemon where when the AI has it, I sweat. Like, especially if I don't have like some perfect answer to it. Like if you have to just kind of do your best with what you got, Druddigon can be kind of nasty. But it's one of those Pokemon where when I have it, I feel like I'm always getting checked by whatever I'm fighting. Like, it's just, because it's a Pokemon that doesn't, how would I put it? It's like a Pokemon that doesn't have one clear use. It's a dragon. It's a dragon monotype. It's a physical dragon monotype with some decent bulk and a really good offense, you know, attack stat. So, like, it's kind of just doing neutral damage into stuff that maybe, you know, maybe you're putting it up against something that it resists, but, like, it resists fire. Maybe put it up against fire, but then you get burnt, and now your attack's cut. It resists electric, but then maybe you get paralyzed, and you get paralocked. It, you know, it's just kind of, it resists water, but then you're just hitting it for neutral. You know, it's just a weird one. Filler, I think, is accurate enough. But I do really like the design, and in the right situations, I imagine it could tank some pretty nice, nasty hits. Okay, so here, this guy has two things that are kind of scary. It's got this Quick Claw, Quick Draw, Galarian Slow Blow with Zen Headbutt and Headbutt. So we've got these crazy flinch chances that we've got to dodge there. And I feel like our best bet there might be Lapras charming it down and just like trying to hit Frost Breaths and Ice Shards. I think that handles it. It's got a Plant, Cloak, Wormadam, and I got a good feeling. Yeah, it doesn't have any statusing moves. It's a Quiver Dance, purely offensive set, and I figured, yeah, Talonflame always kills, and with Gale Wings Prio flying moves, Talonflame is always good to come in here. Let's see here. And then, yeah, Lapras is actually a really pretty decent answer into this Galarian Slowbro. Then the scary thing is that it has this Fion with Tail Glow, and Tail Glow can add 3 to its special attack. So what do we have that's a good answer into this? Well, Electivire outspeeds, but it doesn't always pick up the kill, and but it does always outspeed. So we can come in, if we come in on a Tail Glow, then we're in range of crit. Okay, but if we come in on an attack, then we can always survive at base output. Scald would have to crit twice. So if we come in and we don't get crit, we can always get the kill with Thunder Punches. So what's our bet? I feel like Electivire is a good first answer into the Fion. And then Arboliva might be good, actually. Arboliva into the Fion. Yeah, Mega Drain takes a good chunk out of this thing. Maybe put an Asper Berry on it to avoid Ice Beam. Or, even better, we pre-status it. We burn this thing. If we burn this thing, that's something. What else can we... We just really want to avoid this thing hitting Tail Glow. Like, that's the thing I'm scared of. I think if it comes in while Talonflame's on the field, it'll want to hit Scald. Like, if Talonflame... Yeah, Talonflame, we want it to be, like, pre-damaged even just a little bit, because then it'll want to hit Scald. That's one way to, like, bait it. If it comes in and Lapras is on the field, it'll be after it's been damaged a lot, so it'll want to go for a Grass Knot. Certainly, I think we avoid setup in most scenarios, because it's coming onto the field. So we're gonna take out Mightyena. Slowbro always comes out at that point. I would think into the Rabombi. Sin Headbutt does a good amount of damage. It does the most damage. It's got good typing into it. I feel like that's what comes out. What happens if... What happens if Rabombi's on the field and Fion wants to hit Tail Glow? What's this? This is Charm. I put Charm on it. Oh, we pre-damage the Rabombi. That's how to do it. Yeah. Okay, we pre-damage the Rabombi, we pre-damage the Talonflame, so we always bait the kill from Fion. And then Electivire should always be able to come in, tank the hit back with a Thunder Punch. It's faster, so whether or not it hits again or hits a... Yeah, I think we're good to go. We put a Rossberry on him so that he can't get burnt with Scald. And then if, like, the worst happens, we can switch an Arboliva and probably pick up the heal. So Scald, Ice Beam, Grass Knot. You know, just as like a backup plan, I'll bring Berserker in the Stratagon slot. And then, yeah, I think we're good to go there. So we'll put, you know, we'll put a... We want to, okay, we want pre-damage. Slack off. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Lapras, what do you do against this slack off nonsense? I mean, Frost Breath does pretty good damage. Slack off has how much PP? Slow bro. Galar. Slack off. 8 PP. I feel like Lapras coming in and charming is a good move. And that maybe having one of these other guys to come in. Let's say we charm it down all the way. We can Super Fang. That doesn't really do it. What does it? Bulldoze? But then we have to dodge crits and stuff. Does Talonflame do anything into this? No. Not really. You know, we could always Salt Cure. Yeah, Charm Away and Salt Cure. And then switch back to Lapras. Okay, so let's bring this instead of Berserker. That's good. What happens if it's at neutral and it can crit a bunch? What do these crits do? None of these crits do crazy damage. But a Berry Juice saves us from a 2-shot. So we'll put a Berry Juice and just kind of hope we don't get flinched like crazy. We want to pre-damage this by kind of a lot. We want it to be... Yeah, I think that's great. Then we want to pre-damage this by not very much. Oh my god. Even a little less. How about that? And then we want to burn this. And I think... And then we want to put a Rostberry onto Kate Hudson. And then I think that'll do us about as good as we can get. I think this is a decent plan. We already got our dragon. I should turn the repel on. One last thing. I'm just going to take one last look at what does Chestnut v Fion do. I mean, that Seed Bomb goes crazy. But I think we've got a good plan for baiting out non-kills into Electivire and Electivire taking the 2-shot, outspeeding. Electivire, if Electivire comes in on attack, it can always tank 2 attacks. We gotta dodge crit. That's the scary thing. Do I want to bring Deborah Winger or do I want to bring Chestnut? Let's look at this one more time. Ice Beam max roll 67.5. Ice Beam max roll crit 80.6. And then we're risking other crits. You know what? I think we... Well, but then... He doesn't outspeed. That's the problem. I think this is a good plan. I think this is a decent plan. I think this is an okay plan. I think this could be fine. I'm gonna Berry Juice Gary Oldman. Let's double check these items. Berry Juice on Henry Fonda. Yeah, helps us stay in and get the Salt Cure off, which is great. Arboliva. Let's put a Miracle Seed on Arboliva, actually. Miracle Seed. And let me see what that does to these calcs. Oh, it makes the Mega Drain go crazy. So yeah, we'll put the Miracle Seed there, and then Fran Drescher doesn't really do anything but take out this Wormadam, and then it kind of just needs to get off the field. I mean, I guess it's got a use case into Slowbro here, but it can get crit, and that just seems like a backup plan. That just doesn't seem like smart. I think this is the play. This is as good a cook as I'm gonna come up with. Ooh, it's scary though. Oh my god, every fight in this game is scary. Ugh. Tail Glow is crazy. A +3 to your special attack stat right off the bat is nuts. Intimidate, we're not worried about that. We do have the Silver Powder on, right? That's the first thing I did. Yes. So let's just double check this calc. I mean, Silver Powder, Signal Beam always kills this Mighty Anna, and we are faster. And it doesn't have like Sucker Punch even, so we're good. Signal Beam picks up the kill. Boom. Good work, Lucy Liu. Good. Okay, that's what we wanted to see. So the first thing we do is bring Gary Oldman in. Okay. You don't have Pursuit. So Quick Claw activated. You're going to be faster than the Pokemon I switched in. Oh, no. Now, this doesn't hit all that hard. We just got to... Yeah, nice. Okay, we do outspeed as long as those Quick Claw things don't activate too often. This should do even less damage. We just go for the max charm. We go for 3 charms. This will do like nothing. We'll get our berry juice on. And then we go for one last charm. Okay, quick draw. Dodge the flinch, dodge the flinch, dodge the flinch. Come on. Yes, okay, so we got our max charm going. Attack is all the way down. We bring in Henry Fonda. Bring in Henry Fonda. Dodge the crit, dodge the crit, dodge the crit. Perfect. And then we hit this Salt Cure. Dodge the flinch. Razor Shell does not flinch. We dodge the crit. We get off the Salt Cure. Perfect. And now, ooh, and it crits to boot. Henry, look at you go. Okay, Garganacl, Slowking. Yeah, we definitely don't keep this in. We just switch this off back to Gary Oldman, who can never get crit. So that -6 attack stat will stay true. And we're not even worried about Slack Off at this point, because between Salt Cure and... Let's see here. Slowbro Galar, 6, -6. We're at 73 HP, so 42%. It would have to hit us with Zen Headbutt. It has to hit us with Zen Headbutt 7 times. Wait, no. Yeah. No. 5 times. 5 times before we are dead. So we can... Let's hit this Frost Breath. This will do a good chunk of damage, especially with Salt Cure. Oh my gosh. Well, it always crits. And he can never crit. And Salt Cure. And... down goes Slowbro. Okay, awesome. Now, this is interesting. This, like I said, we should be in a range that if Fion comes in, It sees a fast kill with Grass Knot. We should always be able to... We should always be able to come in with Kate Hudson here, I would think. Or do we like Deborah better? Actually, Deborah always 2 shots with Mega Drain. We come in on the Grass Knot. Next turn we Mega Drain. Ice Beam. Max Roll. Plus Grass Knot Max Roll does not kill. We actually, yeah, we'll just go Arboliva. We'll go hard Arboliva. Don't press Tail Glow. Yes! Okay, yes. That's exactly what we want to see. And we always kill with 2 Mega Drains. We don't have to worry about... I put the Aspire Berry on this, I'm pretty sure. Okay, it hits Tail Glow because it thinks it's faster than us. But it's not faster than us because we have priority Mega Drain. So, dead Fion. Excellent. Hi, welcome back. Fun?
No.
Oh, damn. Alright. And then we've got... Well, this is a foregone conclusion because Fran Drescher always kills with dual Wing Beat. Boom. Aqua Grunt, easy, free. Alright. Get this plot stuff out of the way. And then I just want to pick up some Pokemon. I just want to pick up, at this point, what I want to do is I want to pick up my encounters leading up to Brawly, depending on how long that'll take me. But I think, I don't know that I want to cook up. There's 2 double battles before your Rust, your oh no, I forgot about the rival fight. Okay, we're gonna fight the rival and we're gonna be done. Because this is gonna take a second to cook up. Okay. So it's got 3 different teams depending on... We pick Chespin, so it's gonna have this first team with a Belly Bolt, Cinderace, Lucario, Alomomola, Cacturne type Null. Lucy Liu does always do good work. She's incomparable. Charlie's Angels, I mean, come on. Great stuff. Kill Bill, forget about it. Futurama cameos, don't even get me started. Actually, this might be a harder cook than I was anticipating. Let's see here. So we've got... We've got this Belly Bolt lead. Swampert seems like a good start. Let's start with this. Let's get our items back in the bag. And let's go ahead and do one of these. I want to be able to, because we're fighting a full team of 6. I'm going to put everyone in the box so I can look at them. I'm thinking Swampert lead makes sense. Bulldoze doesn't 2-shot, but it comes kind of close. Muddy Water is something to look at. We outspeed, so we'll always get off the first Bulldoze, and then that slows it down just that much more. So I think we can kind of... I think what I expect to see it do is hit Soak so that it can hit us with Volt Switch. Because the Switch AI in this game really seems to like to hit the, like, Switch, like, U-turn, Volt Switch, parting shot type stuff. Then, once it hits Soak... It'll want to hit Volt Switch again. Huh. Well, actually, that's interesting. Nidoqueen can always two-shot with Scorching Sands. But we are faster as well. %, 21%. Muddy Water crit would be pretty devastating, but we could get off one Scorching Sands. Get hit with Muddy Water. We always survive at least one. Scorching Sands always does a minimum of 50%, up to 60%. If it gets the high roll, actually, it doesn't even have to get that high of a roll for Swampert to come in with Bulldoze and hit pretty hard. But if we come in on a Muddy Water, man. What does Chestnut look like into this thing? Not awesome. What about Garganacl? Not awesome either. What about Arboliva? I am not inspired. Ooh. That Muddy Water really creates problems. I'm gonna give myself a cutoff here. Because this is like a full-on gym battle almost. This is like, if anything, this is harder than a gym battle. Because it's so all over the place. Man, I wish we had like soft sand or something. I don't... Well, that wouldn't even guarantee us the two-shot. If it does hit Soak, Bulldoze, Stomp. If it hits Soak, it'll hit Volt Switch. We can switch in, and we get off one Bulldoze. We can switch in. You know who's even better to come in is we switch in Electivire. Hit a low or a Thunder Punch, even hit a Thunder Punch maybe. So if it does Soak shenanigans, we can do like a Swampert Electivire swapping thing. That's something to think about. Also considering that Cinderace is probably the scariest thing here to me, personally. Which sucks because Swampert is our best answer into it by a lot. It always hits low kick into us, which turns it into a fighting type. Low kick, high roll could be pretty bad. Waterfall does a decent chunk of damage. I don't think we have a single thing that outspeeds the Cinderace, which is too bad. Except for maybe like a priority dual wing beat, which only does about a third. But then it has Sucker Punch. Perfect. Damn. Well, this is gonna be a... You know what? this was an impromptu stream. I've got another one scheduled for tomorrow night. This is gonna be a long cook. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna cook a little bit off stream. And we will tackle the rival fresh tomorrow. Tomorrow night. And so that'll do it for today. Thanks so much to anyone who watches whenever you watch. Anything you do, subscribe, like, comments, means the world. Really helps me out. And yeah, Jer, thanks for hanging out. Always a pleasure. Always really fun having you in the chat. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at work. Everybody, thanks so much. We will start with the rival fight tomorrow. Thank you, Jer. Really, truly is always fun hanging out with you in here. So, goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.